cause we give them more. That's how we roll, knuckled up from that dirty show. So grab your hoe, hit the flow, what you waiting for? Bounce, baby, bounce on that dirty show.
What's going on, everybody? Going on, everybody? Welcome back to Dirty Shore Underground. Tonight, we are talking about what we probably waited all night for while we were sleeping.
Right.
Nonetheless,
well, some crazy people got up early to watch it and sent me a
I went
message
right back
at
to
6
sleep.
o'clock in the
Was
morning.
it 6? I thought it was like 4 o'clock in the morning.
It might have been. You sent me a message, so I woke up this morning and I was like, this motherfucker
In
was
all
up.
fairness, she told me to send you a message.
I did. So you did.
Although, I actually watched it an hour after he dropped it, so...
Well, of course, we're talking about Ill Mind of Hopsin 8 was debuted today on Tuesday, March the 8th. Some, 7 months ahead of schedule, if he usually would drop it on time around his birthday.
Although, he also last year we were waiting for his birthday, Ill Mind to drop, and nothing happened.
Yeah.
And we came to find out he said he wasn't going anywhere else.
So, before we get started, make sure you check out DirtyShoreUnderground.com. New episodes of the podcast every Thursday, as you know, because you're listening to this now. Bonus episodes of the podcast on Monday or Tuesday. For the next few weeks, we're going to be doing reviews of The Walking Dead. After that, reviews of Fear of the Walking Dead. The weekly show is whatever's happening in music or movies or comic books or anything else that we. Today we'll be talking about Hopsin and a little bit of volume. You want to go back and check out, I think it's episode 20 that I guess you need a spoiler alert, but if you haven't seen Ill Mind 8, probably want to take a pause and go watch the Twitter and Facebook and Instagram where we send out the live stream and we send up all our updates there. And if you want to follow the live stream, youtube.com/c/Dirty Shore UG-OTA. Make sure on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram where we send out the live stream and we send up all our updates there. And if you want to follow the live stream, youtube.com/c/Dirty Shore UG-OTA. Make sure you check out the live stream there so that you can comment and join the conversation. We do read comments out while we podcast, so you can join us there and have your comments or questions. Keep in mind that there is a little bit of a delay, so try to give us some context about what your comment or question is so that we try to remember what it was we were talking about. Also, before we get started, because we keep forgetting it, I want to send a big shout out, as always, out to Oasis Vapor. Oasis has always been a big supporter of the podcast. If you are in the Mid-Shore, Maryland, the Eastern Shore of Maryland area, make sure you check out Oasis Vapor on North 6th Street in Denton. You want to go to the Big Red Building. It's right in the middle of the Big Red Building, just off Route 404 at the intersection of North 6th Street or 313 and 404 in Denton. If you go in there during the week, sit and talk to Nate. If you go in there on the weekend, Kenny's in there now, replacing Harry, friend of the show, Harry.
And you still see Harry on Saturday.
And Harry comes in and hangs out there as well. So whether or not you're using vaping to quit smoking like I am, whether you are
cloud chasing
like Kenny, or whether you're somewhere in between, just starting out, anything, Oasis Vapor can serve any kind of needs that you have there. They just got in. What is the new thing you guys just got in this week?
The DNA 200 by Wismic.
So I got to take a look at that yesterday when we were doing the bonus episode. A little too fancy for my blood, too expensive for my blood too.
Tons of features. It's for the advanced user, somebody doing comp mods or something that wants to know what their batteries are doing, and there's just so many things to it. You can hook it up to the computer and hit it, and it'll show the graph for what your batteries are doing while you're hitting the fire button. It's completely nuts. I'm waiting for Harry to figure out the software because there's things with it that are just a little bit beyond what my understanding.
Right.
And he told me not to fuck with anything that wasn't the screen stuff. Just
until
he
figured it out.
Yeah, until he figured it out.
But so if you're on that level, or if you are just saying, hey, what's this vape thing about? Oasis Vapor can certainly help you out. Check out Oasis Vapor on Facebook. The link will be in the show notes. Or stop by the shop there. If you talk to Nate, talk to Kenny, let him know you heard about it on the podcast here. And they'll be happy to help you out. So,
there's one more thing
go ahead.
We keep forgetting to talk about.
What's that?
Buy Rob's books.
Oh, always buy my books. We always hit that at the end. I make sure people know that.
Not always. I don't think we hit it yesterday.
Maybe not. But, yeah, so buy my books available on Amazon. Just search Robert N. Cheek on Amazon. I have an author's page with my books there. New book's coming out this year. Very excited about that. I got to get the editing done. If I could take a night without doing a damn podcast. So
Between me and Corey, you stay
And
pretty busy, don't you?
I got another 2 coming now. We're gonna do a demo this week, I think, and another demo next week, maybe.
We need to get
So.
Corey over here for Walking Dead sometime before the end of this season.
Well, he's blind right now. Make sure you check out the new episode of the Oh the Anthem podcast. It went live. It will be live 2 days. New episodes of the Oh the Anthem podcast are available at ohtheanthem.com. New episodes every Tuesday with a spotlight review on Friday or Saturday. So check that out. New episode up is about our 100th episode, actually. 100th episode of the Oh the Anthem podcast, which is insane. 100 consecutive weeks. So make sure you check that out. And we talk about Corey's LASIK surgery and how he's blind right now. So
Did you guys do that while he was blind?
yes, he was basically blind. We had to have the lights off because they were so
I bet that
close.
was fun.
Yeah, so no video. We usually do video for those who usually watch, but we
So
had
it was,
video this
it
week.
was the 100th episode?
100th episode, yeah.
Damn, I bet DSUG is catching up if you count all the bonus episodes.
Counting the bonus episodes, we are at, this will be week 26, plus 8 bonus, 14 bonus, plus 12. Wow, yeah. So, I mean, we're looking at probably 45 episodes of DSUG. So, but we do 2 a week during the seasons of The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead. So, Oh the Anthem is once weekly. And make sure, speaking of, while we're doing a little pimping, go to patreon.com, patreon.com/Oh the Anthem. It's a great way to support Oh the Anthem and the network
I wanted
through a
to hear
Patreon
more
feed.
about that because I haven't got to catch the podcast yet.
Well,
So
make
if
sure
you're
you
gonna-
check out this week's episode, the 100th episode of the Oh the Anthem podcast, for more information about Patreon. Basically, it's a way that you can help support the entire podcast network. You make a monthly donation, a few bucks a month, 3, 5, 7, 10 bucks a month, and it helps us produce more content. And in exchange, you get a lot of rewards, like our pre-roll footage for the podcast, up to and including coming out and being on set for one of the movies. So
So if I sign up, I get rewards too?
absolutely, everybody who signs up, Patreon, patreon.com/Oh the Anthem. Make sure you check that out. So, but back to the topic at hand, which is out of date and out of sorts. Hopsin drops Illmind 8. And for those of you who are not familiar with the Illmind series, I came to know the Illmind series at Illmind 5.
And this is while we were working at Pizza Empire.
Yes. And after I found 5, I went back and I listened to, I guess the 1 through 4 existed, but they weren't the same thing that 5 was.
Because 5 is when it got into realer shit.
Yeah.
Drugs and alcohol.
Well, so 5 was, I guess to kind of accumulate it, 5 was about partying and trying to live this like rock star rapper lifestyle and how stupid it was. 6 was about drugs and how too many people are using drugs and losing their lives to drugs.
And Hopsin lost a friend to it. So
Right.
That's
7,
why he's basically straight edge.
Right. 7 was about religion and how he used to be super religious and now he's not religious anymore. And so setting the stage on back-to-back on that. And then, of course, last year we didn't get Illmind.
And we even talked about it on the
Yep.
podcast. Because we were like, it's coming.
It's
We're going to be
of the
talking
time.
about it. And
Yep.
then it was like,
So previous years he'd always dropped it at or near his birthday.
on his birthday.
Yeah.
Midnight.
And then we waited and it didn't come. And I come to flash back to episode 23, I guess. Maybe there was some shit going on with Funk Volume that we didn't know, and they couldn't get their shit together to make a video and do the song and everything. It's funny now looking back that maybe that was what was going on.
Yeah, I mean, going off of Illmind 8, it seems like this shit might have been going on for... I mean, it seems Hopsin wasn't dumb to what was going on with Dame, so...
Yeah.
He knew he was taking a little extra off the top than what he was supposed to. And while Hopsin isn't exactly about the money, I know this because I've met the man a few times. I've had conversations with him. You can find videos of me having conversations with him. He's not all about the money. He's about the music first. And
Right.
when he gets to the point, there was a point a year and a half ago, he walked off stage because he was tired of a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
And then he went online the next day and he was apologizing to fans. He said, "Look, I couldn't do it. It's bullshit."
But nobody likes to get screwed over, though.
No.
That's the thing. Is if you put in a day's work and you're expecting a certain amount of pay, it's not it's not like this is negotiating for a better deal. It's we made a deal, honor the deal that we made.
And they were co-owners in it.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
But as he points out in the video, you are a manager, our agent, the label owner, and our accountant. Something fishy here. But anyway, so to give a little background to people who don't know, the Illmind series was like, well, 1 through 4 was different because it was like, 1 through 4 was like, let me come up with something crazy that I've just been like batting around. And instead of putting it on an album, I'm going to drop a single with a video and kind of like make it a thing. But with 5, I don't know what inspired him to do it. I think that it was just a change. He was like, you know what, I'm tired of doing this same hip-hop shit that I've been doing. He'd been struggling with Eazy-E's wife's label, which is actually Eazy-E's label, but
Yeah.
Eazy has died, obviously. For anybody who's seen Straight Outta Compton, sorry, spoiler alert, Eazy-E dies.
If somebody didn't know that, then they were too young to even watch the movie. I'm sorry.
So he was in a battle with the record label, I think to get out of his contract.
They signed him for $400 and stuck him on the shelf for 2 years.
Yeah. So I think that he was dealing with a lot of that, and it was a lot of like trying to find himself. And then Illmind 5, and I guess the album that came out before Illmind 5 was kind of in that same vein. It makes me think of Revolutionary Volume 2 from Immortal Technique, where like everything that happened before that was kind of like more mainstream, more rap, just general hip hop. And then all of a sudden it's like, this is it. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. So 5 comes out, and the great story I love about 5 is that he actually like put a Craigslist ad out that was like, we need a dorm room, we need to be able to paint it. We're going to come in, we're going to paint it, we're going to shoot this video in a single night, and then roll out, and we'll repaint the room the next morning.
Yeah.
And they did. And anybody who watches Illmind 5, in the show notes, you're going to have the links to all of the, well, not all of them, because I only like 5, 6, 7, and 8, so I'm only going to link those. We'll have links to the videos so that you can see them there. And actually 5 was followed up by the My Son video, which you showed me today. I hadn't seen before.
That like because if you search Illmind, it doesn't necessarily pop up unless you watch the one video that says 1 through 7, and it's all 7 videos back to back.
Right. But I gotta say, I did like that one too, because it was, you could see Hopsin's open to the other perspective.
Mm-hmm.
He's saying, this is how I feel, this is how I think. But this other guy, we're both in the struggle in the same way. We're both fighting the same battle. We just fight it different ways. And so it was real. I think it was really good. So Flash says literally cross-stitching NWA lyrics. So Flash is a bit of a weirdly feminist. She's the kind of feminist that argues that you should have a right to be barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen. And I'm pretty sure she's cross-stitching "fuck the police" on like a pillow right now. So Flash, welcome. Always good to have you in.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. We know Colin's very upset that he's not going to be here to see you for your next visit. So unfortunate for him. But
I might have to draw her into my little Backstreet Boys duet.
Yeah, and Kenny wants you to come to the pub.
She said she was going to be there.
Yeah. Another shameless plug, Market Street Pub has always taken care of us. If you are in Denton to stop by Oasis Vapor, make sure you swing by the Market Street Public House. It's the corner of 2nd Street and Market Street in downtown Denton. You're not going to find a better crew working. You're not going to find a better owner in Brian Tyler. You're not going to find a better place with better food, with better drinks anywhere. It's the place to be if you're in Denton. The one thing I missed about living in Denton, if it's not being 2 minutes away, so that it's easier to make to do these podcasts.
Yes.
It's going to the pub whenever I wanted. So definitely check that out if you're in town.
And the fact that on Saturday nights with karaoke, you know, if Kenny shows up drunk and he knows somebody there, he's trying to drag somebody up to do karaoke with him.
And I can get drunk and walk home, which was also really nice.
Yes.
But so Illmind 5, Illmind 6, and 7 were real heavy topics. It was like, again, it was living that hip-hop lifestyle and how you're full of shit, that if you're broke living on your mom's couch, don't talk about being a rapper, don't talk about this hip-hop lifestyle, you're not really living it. 6 was, he had a friend who got real into meth and lost his friend, and about how you lose your friend before they die. You lose them when they start getting into the drug life and not being the same person, and then they almost die. Everyone almost dies a couple of times, and you have to go through that experience of almost losing him and then not, and then eventually they do die. And then 7, he's walking through the desert having a religious experience, just questioning God, and then we don't get 8. 8's not on time. He doesn't do one last year.
No.
So in March, now we have 8. And I'm going to play a little excerpt from 8, because I think this says everything somebody needs to know about El Mindy. And I'm just going to...
Shit on the hush, hush. On my chest, I just carry too much stuff. I done had it enough, it's enough. But plus, I needed something to get my buzz up.
So, for those of you, I know it probably was a little hard to understand, but basically what he said is, if you watch the video, you see it's a courtroom scene set up.
You should have been featured in that video.
I would have loved. I could be the white guy sitting next to Hopsin.
Yeah.
He's just nodding and not doing anything.
Marcus.
Sorry, Marcus. Yeah, and I want you to get into that too. But it's a courtroom scene, and it's the Case of Funk volume. Marcus Hopsin versus Damian Ritter. Damian the Traitor Ritter, I think is what they call him at the beginning. And then
Hopsin is his last name.
Yeah. Well, his last name is Hopsin.
It's spelled differently, but it's basically the same.
Yeah. So they call him up to the stand, and basically the entire song is him on the stand, and then a little bit back in chambers, and then back on the stand, and he's like getting the whole courtroom hyped. But it's basically a diss track, which
he went hard though.
He did go hard, but in the end, it's a diss track. And this is what I said on the bonus episode, which is up live now at DirtyShoreUnderground.com, that I was hoping it was not going to be a Funk Volume diss track. But literally the entire video is Hopsin in the witness stand, a guy who's playing Damian Ritter sitting at the defense table, and he's just talking about the Funk Volume breakup. And it's a letdown for me.
Yeah, I mean, in a sense, for me it is, but it also, to me, wasn't a complete rip against Funk Volume, because at the end of the song, he said good luck to...
he says good luck to everybody, basically.
And Swizz, which is Damian's brother.
Right.
Because
but it's a
Hopsin
Damian.
and Swizz were doing everything together before Damian even got involved.
It's a Damian diss track, though. That's what it is. And that's not what Illmind has been. That's what Illmind 1 through 4 were. They were just bullshit hip-hop stuff.
But there are 2 artists that I would not want to be on the receiving end of a diss track from.
What, Hopsin?
One's Hopsin.
Yeah.
The other is Tech 9.
Well, I think I would add Cryptic Wisdom to that, because he'll wipe your ass up and down the street.
I mean, never mind. Gruesome's had good diss tracks towards people. But, I mean, he upset me a little with dissing Cryptic Wisdom for some relationship issues that happened, and Cryptic Wisdom, he rated all that shit himself, But the thing that scares me about Cryptic Wisdom is he comes out with a diss track in the style of Busta Rhymes, and then you come back at him. And then he comes back in the style of Dr. Dre, and then you come back at him. And then he comes back in the style of, he is all over the place. He can do whatever he wants. Yeah, and all of his videos, the covers they did, he's been doing, which is smart, because they've been getting million-plus views on Facebook alone, not even YouTube.
Right. Well, so that's go into the clip that I played there. So basically what he says is that, he wanted to keep it hush-hush. I'm not going to keep it hush-hush. It's weighing heavily on me. Plus, I want to get my buzz up. And Hopsin, you don't have to do diss tracks to get your buzz up.
He knows that, but he likes to diss people. We know that.
He likes it, and he could have put out a diss track. He could have said, this is the debut of the Underground Prodigy label. This is the first single of an upcoming album for the Underground Prodigy label, and everybody would still watch it.
Yep.
And then at his birthday, dropped Illmind 8. And had it be like, let me work through this shit, and I'll come back and I'll have a real Illmind single. He didn't do that. He used the Illmind label because he knew everybody would watch it to come out with a diss track. I'm just disappointed.
I think we'll still see a legit Illmind this year, though.
You think he's going to come out with 9?
I think
it is the year for 9. So
with everything going on, I think we will get a legit, heartfelt, meaningful, one way or another Illmind this year.
Back around his birthday.
Yeah.
Which
instead
is November?
If I remember. July?
No, it was July.
July.
September?
August, September. Somewhere between July and November.
It's a nice big zone.
We don't have a person here to look this shit up
Look it
for
up.
us tonight, so.
Yeah, well, here I'll look it. So, tell the you were saying that the person sitting in the courtroom is Marcus, not Hopsin.
Yes.
What's the difference between the two of them?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a persona thing. But when he wants to speak as Hopsin and it's just like completely off the wall shit, the contacts are always in.
So, what's the difference between the two of them? As far as you can
Marcus is
see.
always
July 18th, by the way.
Marcus is always speaking from his heart and his legitimate mind on how he feels about something.
Okay.
Now, if there's a video where it's flip-flopping back and forth between the contacts and no contacts,
Right.
which you see in 4,
Right.
you get the little crazy off the wall shit, and then you get
Actually, we get that in 6 too.
Yeah.
Because when he's when he's with his friend, not the like asides in the hospital room, but like when he's actually with him, we see him without the contacts.
And like the song "Hop Is Back" from Not Magnus. He's sitting there watering his lawn and shit, and people roll up, and he's no contacts. He's wearing like the little Mr. Rogers sweater and all that bullshit. And they're like, Marcus, Hop, we fucking made you who you are, and he's just sitting there, just like getting angry about it. All of a sudden, white out on the eyes.
Yeah.
And he just starts.
So, who is Marcus or is Hopsin hash brown? Because he's wearing sunglasses, we can't see the eyes.
I don't think either one of them's hash brown.
It's a whole different persona.
I think hash brown is what he did to make fun of how rap music is today. Because he has said, even in Mind to Mind Soon, he fucking hates rap but loves it at the same time.
Yep.
Because most rap is really, really bullshit. It's one thing if you're like doing crazy topics like something Twisted would do.
Yeah.
Because it's in a fantasy world like a movie.
Right.
But if you're doing something like Lil Wayne does and it's just, oh, I'm going to pull up fucking bitch. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I got money. Nobody cares about that shit.
Yeah.
So Hopsin shit is either really off the wall or it's really deep.
Well, and I think, again, that's another reason why this is not an Ill Mind song. Because this is Marcus talking about his shit that's going down with Damien. It's not Hopsin. It's not the crazy shit he's got going on in his head.
It's from what I want to say, it's not Ill Mind to Hopsin. This right here was Ill Mind to Marcus.
Okay. So it's a interesting difference to make.
Yes.
Okay.
But if he would have just put Ill Mind to Marcus, people would have been like, what? Why are you changing the name? So I could get why he wouldn't do that.
But again, part of this was also, I mean, he did a debut this morning in Cali. I think it was at midnight in LA. He did a theater viewing of it. And he called it the Underground Prodigy Coming Out Party.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that. He's starting a new album. It's just him this time. No Damien. Well, not just him, but no Damien.
Well, he didn't need
him
him
and
to
his
begin
people.
with. I mean, he's been hanging out in Australia for like months at a time.
Right.
Fucking hitting Facebook saying, hey, who's in such and such town at this time who wants to hit a fucking skate park? I'll buy you a new deck, a new set of shoes, whatever you want.
Right.
Let's go fucking have some fun.
But this
and
was
what rapper does that, by the way?
Well, I mean, that's we talked on this episode, the 100th episode of the Other End podcast. I talked about one day I want to be in the position to just be like, hey, here's a car. Hey, let's take a trip. Hey, let's do whatever. You know, be driving in an Accord and see somebody who needs a car and just be like, you know what? I'll take a cab. There you go.
Call an Uber and then you buy them like a pair of shoes or something.
Exactly. Yeah, that kind of stuff. But nobody else does that. Nobody else is as relatable to their fans. And if they are, they're not at the level that he is.
No other rapper Skype calls their fans.
That's true too. Yeah. So I mean, he is a unique artist in that way. But that's why it's so disappointing to me that he would go this route. You want a single. You want to drop. You want to bring out the label. You want to debut everything. I get all of that. Don't do it with this under this banner, because this banner means something.
Yeah.
It's evolved so much. And when you say maybe there is another Illmind 9, I don't know that I'm getting so hyped for it next time, because I'm like, okay, is this going to be more of what was, or is this going to be more of what is? Is he going to be Illmind is constantly diss tracks of whoever he's dissing with at the time?
That was a little bit of old school Marcus Hopsin. Because in 1 through 4 he was dissing Wayne and
Yeah.
Fucking Tyler, the Creator.
Well, everybody fucking hates Tyler, the Creator.
Even Cryptic Wisdom dissed them best as far as I'm concerned, but that's another topic for another time.
Yeah. But, I mean, in the end, it's... I remember how excited we were last year, waiting for the new one to come out.
We spent a week like every day. We're like,
Yeah.
couple more days, man.
It's gonna be out. It's gonna be out.
Then to
it's
come
gonna
to
be out.
find out, we were off by like 2 months. I don't know how the hell I was.
Well,
even off for
no, because I think we were right in July, and then he announced that it wasn't going to be, that the new album was going to come out, or the new song was going to come out in November, not at his birthday.
and that's
we
when it fucked
assumed-
us up.
We assumed that what was coming out was going to be
Ill Mind.
Ill Mind, but he dropped Pound Syndrome instead of doing another Ill Mind. But again, that probably, or it could have been because of all the shit that was going down with Funk Volume, and he was working on the album, and there's a lot of drama going on with Damien. So, what are any other thoughts about the song itself, or the video itself?
I think it's as far as it goes, it's if you listen as far back as Lucifer Effect, which was the album right after the Easy shit when him and Dame started Funk Volume.
Yeah.
This is that classic style.
All right, so he's reverting back to the way that he was.
He had a lot of shit to say, and even he said, like this is Lucifer Effect raw stuff.
Okay.
So he had something to say about somebody he was close with, and he put it out there, much like the Joker did when he had issues with Hopsin because, well, that was a Dame issue on another end because.
Well, explain for people who don't know what the Joker issue is.
Joker is another artist. He's out of Arizona, same area as Cryptic Wisdom. He shot most of the video for one of Hopsin's videos, and he was supposed to have some parts in it. When the video came out, all of the parts that he was in was cut. They put MK, which stands for Monkey King, in it, in the end of it. And he felt hurt about it. He started dissing him. He also dissed Tech 9, which I think is probably the stupidest fucking thing he did. Even though he was on Tech's bus, he was invited to come out to Tech's show by Tech's people, come on the bus and play a couple songs for Tech, and then got kicked off because some football game was on or something or else. Outside of Tech's control itself, but he got kicked off and he started dissing him. He also dissed Cryptic Wisdom and Hard Target. Few other pretty popular names in the underground, and then he finally came around with Dead Horse, and he apologized to the Funk Volume crew at the time and Tech 9, but nobody else, which is fine because I have my own issues with other artists. Even though I listen to the music, I just have issues with the way they handle certain things with other artists. I feel like they have problems with that artist because they're grinding hard and they're starting to get up here.
Yeah.
While this person might have been doing it a little bit longer, but they're still sitting here.
And you can't blame the
you
artist
can't
for
can't
that.
blame the other artist for that. You gotta put the time in to get somewhere. You can't just put a song out and expect to go.
Well, I will say on the plus side, it wasn't a hash brown video,
Yes.
which is what I predicted.
That was the worst case scenario. Although I expected like 30 seconds of it.
Just
like,
at the beginning.
Just in the beginning, just do 30 seconds of it maybe, and then be like, nope, psych. Fuck you, Dame, for saying hash brown was better than me. That's what I expected that.
So, what can we expect moving forward? Because here's what happens. Diss tracks always have the same result. It's never just a diss track and you're done.
Well, diss tracks are always about promotion.
Well,
I
that's
don't care
true.
what anybody says, but Dame's not a rapper,
Right?
so he's definitely not going to fire back.
Has he ever been a rapper? Has he ever done anything? He was always the brain behind the album.
The behind the scenes guy.
Yeah.
All the time.
And because I'm trying to remember, what was the Hopsin was on Eazy-E's record label.
Mm-hmm.
How is it that he got mixed in with Damien? How did that all happen?
He grew up with him.
What do you mean?
He grew up with Dame and Swizz.
How did they get together on the label though?
They when after he got fucked over by that label, they decided to make their own shit.
And they just decided.
And it was supposed to be all about music and not all about money.
Right.
And at some point, some people became mostly money. And
well, that's the way it works.
hey, He got pissed off that Hopsin wasn't dropping an album every 6 to 12 months like Tech Nine does, but Tech Nine has a lot to say all the time. So for Tech Nine to drop 3 albums a year, whether they're 2 EPs and an LP, or 2 LPs and an EP, or 3 EPs,
Yeah.
people already know to expect that from Tech, because Tech's always got shit running through his head. Hopsin likes to have fun. He goes out and goes places, and he'll hit something on Facebook just to meet up with fans at a skate park and play a game of horse or whatnot.
He is way more the in with the fans too, because I don't know that Tech Nine doesn't do what Hopsin does with his fans.
Well, Tech Nine don't skate, but he
Well,
does.
you know what I mean.
He does meet up with the fans, and
Right.
even outside the VIP packages where you pay like $150,
Right.
which is totally worth it because one, you get to go on the bus and take pictures and all that bullshit. You get like $200 worth of shit in a bag,
Right.
and you get the pictures, and you can get all the shit in the bag signed and everything. But even if you show up at the venue, like we went to Richmond to see Tech Nine,
Yeah.
me and Eric, fucking 5-hour drive. Went there to see him. We got there. We showed up. We got outside the fucking venue. A couple of the label mates were outside smoking a cigarette. We're sitting there bullshitting with them. We're like, you guys anywhere know where we can go to the fucking bathroom? And they were like, there, yeah, it's like 4 blocks down that way.
Yeah.
Because, they can't just invite us on the bus to go use the bathroom.
Right.
And I wouldn't expect them to, even though that'd be cool as shit.
Yeah.
But we walk the 4 blocks up. We go to the end of the Marriott, and there's like a Marines ball going on or something.
Yeah.
And I'm walking in there with Jenkos, and we got one of my homegirls with me.
Jenkos. Oh god.
We got one of my homegirls with me, has like a really short fucking skirt on, and fishnet stockings and shit, and a low cut shirt and all this shit. We're just like,
Bathroom. Yeah. Just we.
I'm going that way.
Yeah.
Walking right through the crowd and shit. We did that like twice.
Yeah.
2 or 3 times. And then we came out one time, and we were heading back down because we got there at like 12 in the afternoon. The show didn't start till 7.
Yeah.
So we get there, we walk around. One time we finally come out. There's a couple of white guys in suits, looking like Robs.
Looking like. Oh yeah, I guess they was.
Yeah, looking like Robs.
Yeah.
Except they had the jacket on too.
Right.
And we come out, and we're like the only white people they see for like 2 blocks. And we're like, hey, guys want to have some dinner with us? And we're like, what, you scared to be down here because the hood's 1 block away or what?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that's what we figured too. And we're just like, nah, we already ate, man. Sorry. I was like, you ain't got nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
I was like, we've been walking up and down the streets all fucking day. We're still alive.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing to worry about. That's, again.
But the experience. So
Yeah.
did you pay the money to get on the bus at that point?
No, they weren't doing VIP packages back then.
Yeah.
But I did meet some of the crew.
Yeah.
And I wasn't like one of those nut grabbers about it. I just shook my hand. I was like, thanks for what you do. We enjoy your music.
Yeah.
And we went about our business. We weren't like, oh my God. So.
Which I find is always the key. If you're just like low key about it, they're much more respect. Don't be the screamer. Don't be the runner.
Like I've met Twisted.
Yeah.
Jamie Madrox from Twisted tried to steal my wallet because it was a Friday the 13th wallet. And he's a big Friday the 13th fan.
Yeah.
He's like, you can take everything out of the wallet. I just want your fucking wallet.
But
And
yeah.
I was like, I'll give you the wallet if you give me the fucking Dickie shirt that you're wearing.
Yeah.
Because I like Dickie's button ups. And he started laughing. And he was like, man, just show me some love.
I would be like, yo, give me your home address. I will send it to you. But getting back to it, Damien's not a rapper.
No.
I mean, from the beginning, it was Swizz was a rapper,
Mhm.
and so was Hopsin, and he's had this idea that we can make an album. I can do all the business stuff. I don't think he had any business experience other than maybe street
No.
business.
And
But,
Hopsin always said that he didn't want to be on the business side of it. He wanted to just make music because he loves music.
but he needed somebody to watch out for
He
the
needed
business stuff.
somebody else to watch the music and do the business side of it and
Yeah.
not fuck him over in the process.
And he could trust Damien.
Yeah.
Theoretically. Yeah.
For a while he could
Right.
until all the big money started to come in, because outside of Psychopathic, Strange Music, and Suburban Noise at the time, which housed Cottonmouth Kings, there was nothing else in the underground
Right.
for artists that were big in the underground. And then Funk Volume shot up out of nowhere above all the other mini labels that are out there, and there's a million of them, no lie. And they shot up, And then it all turned. I guess Dame started becoming more about the money.
Well, and so I'll say right now, Ill Mind of Hopsin 8 has 375,000 views.
Now, what's that money advertising wise? Because he owns the rights to it, so
So he owns it rights outright.
Yep.
But it's been up for
less than 24 hours.
Less than 24 hours. And he has 1.3 million subscribers, meaning that there's 1.3 million people who got an update about that. So let's say that every one of his subscribers watches that video. That is $11,000 a month. And that's big money. So, and that's just talking about YouTube videos. YouTube videos are just a portion of the money that they're getting. For anybody who's been watching or paying attention to the Anthem, we're talking about merchandise, and merchandising is another big part of it. You get T-shirts made, you get buttons made, you get all of that stuff, and none of that has to do with any of the music. I mean, well, I guess the YouTube videos do, but I mean, if you have a video that gets 1 million views, you're talking about $15,000 a month in revenue on the video alone. And if you're doing an album that has 8 songs, and each of the 8 songs gets 8 million, obviously you're talking about real big money. T-shirts, sales, all that stuff, and that's before you even sell a single album or sell a single off of the album. Keeping in mind that the way that iTunes and everybody works now is you can buy the single song, you buy 3 songs, you can buy the whole album. And if they're selling the whole album for $9.99 and each song for 99 cents, and somebody buys the single when it comes out, and then they buy the album again, now they've spent $11. The money adds up more than you would think that it would add up. And I think for Damien, there's a shit ton of money and nobody's minding the store. Well, I'm minding the store. Because what I understand from, and again, what we're really only seeing is Hopsin's side of it. That's all we've really heard.
If Dame responds, it'll be in a press release. It won't be a diss track. It won't be any kind of music track.
I guarantee you, if he does that,
if he tries to do that, he's going to get himself hurt.
Well, because Hopsin's going to do a video of him doing a press junket or a press conference where he's holding up the press release that Damien did and doing a diss track based on the press, whatever. Or it's going to expand the whole battle because Damien's going to get somebody else do a diss track on his back.
I mean, the video alone showed that Hopsin still has money.
Yeah.
He can still go anywhere he wants to. He probably doesn't even have to work another day in his life if he doesn't want to.
Well, Funk Volume doesn't exist because he was half of it, which means they had to liquidate. And that means half the assets become his. Now, he apparently walked away and said, you can keep all the artists. I don't want any of the rights to the artists, but I want what's rightfully mine. So all the money that's sitting in bank account somewhere, and probably, if you're really bitter, probably Damien's house is owned by the company. The cars are probably owned by the company. And you can say, sell all that shit and give me half.
And the albums don't just go away, so
no.
there's people are still buying them.
And most likely, if I was Damien, I would have said, listen, you don't want any of the artists, you don't want anything? Fine. I'll keep the rights to all of that. You take the rights to your stuff, and you go. So when YouTube videos, when the album sales, everything that happens from here on out is all yours. And of course, when they're in the news, people who don't know about it are going to be like, well, let me check out this thing. So just boost money, which is why diss tracks actually are really just about making more money. So, but we're not going to get a response from Damien. It would be funny if he tried to do a diss track.
I'm still mildly skeptical though, because you did mention last night, what if everything was just a big facade, and they were just fucking with people like they did with his whole retirement thing.
I was on board with that until this.
Until this?
Yeah, because I think that there are some things that you can't come back from. Like, I don't think the fans would trust anymore if it turns out that Funk Volume wasn't done after this. Because it's like, if they do the breakup and then they're like, just kidding, we didn't break up, that's fine. But when you take it as far as doing the track and doing all this stuff, I think it's just, if they
put in at least $10,000 into the video.
Probably more than that.
Look, I'm saying based off, because remember the one night you can't remember, I was watching that the live action Dragon Ball Z video that was made for $10,000. It looked much better than the actual fucking movie did.
Well, so how much do you think that set cost?
I'm gonna say he maybe dumped 20 grand into it.
Okay, I would say that probably the sets alone are at least 20
Maybe
grand.
not that much because he knows how to do video editing and filming himself.
No, because that was a 360-degree set. At some points in the video, they show the whole room, which means they built a room and they built it out the whole way. So
what if they actually rented a courtroom for a day? Is
No.
that possible?
No, because that is not an actual courtroom. There's no way. The ceilings are too high. What it is they built a room that doesn't have a roof. That way they can light it properly. Otherwise, it wouldn't be lit properly. The light is not right in a courtroom because it's not meant for video cameras. So they built a courtroom. The wood paneling, all that stuff is built in. So I would say they spent at least 20 grand on that.
Can you tell most of the time I've ever shot anything has been outside?
I was gonna say, but that's the thing is the Dragon Ball Z was outside, and that's how you do it cheap. If you want to shoot out, shoot cheap.
I think that was all green screen.
Could also be green screen.
But
which is
if
also
somebody knows their CGI and shit, it totally works.
right, and again, the difference is you can't do what he did on green screen because you see him like jumping up on the witness stand, up on the jury box. The easiest and cheapest way to do that is just build the fucking room, but it's expensive still to do that. So
Unless you know.
unless you know people. And maybe there's a courtroom I haven't been in, but I've never seen a courtroom that had high enough ceilings to hang lights to do it.
An old church.
The wood wouldn't match because it looks like a new courtroom, and neither would the front part. So, I mean, and also it's probably cheaper just to build a room than to renovate a church to do that.
Cross my dreams.
Well, but anyway, so I think that the fans get pissed off if after all this they say, "Just kidding."
I said that in the beginning too.
I think that they're forgiving. So if things get back together, you know, if Damien comes out and says, "Listen, I was a douche. I totally stole money from him. We have a new accountant. We have a new album. We have a CEO. Like, I'm not running shit anymore."
But then the fans don't trust Dane. Regardless of Hopsin being there or not, him coming out and saying that he did all those things.
That's all right, though. They don't need to trust Damien.
That don't matter because I guarantee you, anytime after that Hopsin made a post, why didn't you just stay with yourself?
Yeah.
You made all the money.
Yeah.
You were still touring everywhere you were touring on the label.
Because it's about the family. Because it's not just about Dane. It's about everybody else on the label. That's what it's.
But he could still tour with everybody if you want.
No, can't do it.
Why not?
Because the way the tours are set up, the way you rent venues, you have to have a venue on that level. You have to have a venue that is just liability concerns. You have to be all under the same contract.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
Twisted left ICP's label, right?
Yeah.
They still tour with people from ICP's label.
Okay. Still today tour with people from ICP's label.
Mm-hmm.
And are those people still on ICP's label?
Yeah.
Are they on sub labels or are they on the main?
They're on the main label. Anybody
Okay.
kill it? ABK is on the main label. He's touring with Twisted.
Okay, so forgetting about the legal stuff. You work for Damien.
Mhm.
And that guy has just... I'm Hopsin and you're Damien, and I just dissed the shit out of you. Are you letting people who work for you tour with me?
I think Damien's going to look at how much money is it going to bring him in, regardless of who he's on tour with.
If he is really all about the money, maybe.
Yeah.
I think, though, that some of it's got to be self-respect. And you got to say, no, fuck that guy. I don't care how much money it is. It's not worth it to me. So. But I do think that we're going to hear a response of some sort. We'll see what it is. Most likely it will be a press release. Like, let me tell my side of the story. Here
He's going to
go.
call you next week to help you write him up a press release.
Listen, Dim, I can actually rap. So we can do a rapping press release. It'll be great.
Let's hear a little freestyle.
No, I'm good.
This is when we need Tony sitting right
So
in
the
the
way
middle.
my raps are set up is I got a rapping persona and I got a lawyer persona. And when I'm dressed in my lawyer persona, I can't rap. When I'm dressed in my rapping persona,
So you
I can't
need some
lawyer.
rapper clothes?
Exactly.
I can
Yeah.
get you some rapper clothes.
No, it's all right. We'll do it another time.
I bet you must.
I'm real tired. I didn't sleep real well last night, and I'm hungry because I haven't had dinner, and I just left work. So
Not gonna let me
another
call
time.
you out.
Another time. We'll do it another time.
Next week?
Maybe next week. Maybe I'll just write something and I'll post it this week, and we can play it live next week.
Go for a freestyle on the Walking Dead podcast.
Make
it our intro for the
freestyle's
week.
not really my
Well,
thing.
okay, well,
I can write something.
Write something before the podcast Sunday night.
I will write and record something, and then I will put it up live at DirtyShoreUnderground.com and put it on the Facebook page at Dirty Shore UG on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
Do something about Walking Dead, and then we'll put it in front of the Walking Dead podcast.
That's what we'll do. So if you want to see the whitest white boy ever,
Whiter than White Jesus.
I am way whiter than White Jesus.
Little Jesus, was it White
Slim
Jesus?
Jesus.
Slim Jesus.
Slim Jesus is white as shit.
There are so many Jesuses out there.
Yeah, Black Jesus, Slim Jesus. But
Jesus from Walking Dead, which is actually pretty cool.
Actually, I do like that Jesus, and he looks a lot like Jesus. But so if you want to see the whitest rapper alive, check that out on The Walking Dead this week. Or not The Walking Dead, on our review of The Walking Dead coming up this Monday. Not on Walking Dead, I wish I was. So, any other thoughts on Oh Mind 8?
For what it was a great track. He killed it, and that's expected of Hopsin at this point.
And I'm hoping for, I hadn't thought about it, but I am hoping for Oh Mind 9. Let's do a redemption, Oh Mind 9, the redemption this year. Bring it back to the good topics, to the
let's face it. If you piss Hopsin off, he's gonna fucking bring it to you one way or another, and he brought it to him the best way he knows
Hey,
how.
just in case Hopsin hears this, still respect. Don't diss me. I love your music, and I would still love to have you on the podcast. I'd love to do an interview. I'd love to be involved. I like Ill Mind for something else other than diss tracks.
I actually tried to get a hold of him while you were on the way here, but he wasn't on Facebook. I need to get his actual number so it's easier to get a hold of him.
And another time, another day, another time. So, anything else?
Search through the video history. You'll see a video of me interviewing Hopsin backstage.
Find the link.
Week after the Novi Novak diss.
Check the show notes, because you find that. I'll put in the show notes, and if you can click directly to the video.
I was watching it right before you got here.
Good. All right, so check the show notes. It'll be in the show notes, so you can find it there. Otherwise, make sure you check out DirtyShoreUnderground.com. You can find new episodes of the podcast every Thursday, bonus episodes every Monday or Tuesday. Again, a few more weeks left of The Walking Dead, and then we jump into The Fear of the Walking Dead. Make sure you check out DirtyShoreUnderground.com. While you're there, if you're going to be shopping online, make sure you click through the link, the Amazon link there. Obviously, it's a great way to help out the podcast. Or if you want to help out the network, check out the Patreon page, Patreon, patreon.com/OTheAnthem. Dirty Shore UG on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. YouTube.com/C/Dirty Shore UG-OTA for the live stream. Thank you, Flash, for joining us. Thank you, everybody who always joins us on our live streams. We appreciate your comments. We appreciate you playing along with us. Make sure you check out RobertNCheek.com. You can find me on our social networks at RobertNCheek. Links to my blog, the news site, everything are on there. And, of course, links to Amazon, where you can buy my books, is available at RobertNCheek.com as well.
One more thing before we
go ahead.
I think I'm going to try to push for next week to do the update on the calls, considering what happened to my neighbor downstairs just a few weeks ago, and had him freaked out thinking we were fucking with him. So
let's see if we can get him up here, and we'll do that as well.
That would be great.
All right, so I'm going to take us out. I'm going to do a little edit and take us out with a little Ill Mind. So
you guys
enjoy that after
too much
this,
of my
otherwise,
time.
Have a great
Marcus
week, everybody.
Hopsin, please come to the stand.
Nigga, what the fuck? What the fuck? Homie, I made you rich, paid your rent, damn right. Biting the hand that was feeding you, this shit don't make any sense. Nigga, what the fuck? What the fuck? You know this is that real shit. How you gon' forget who built this, huh? I'm the one who made the company all the millions. Now you got problems to deal with. Man, this is tough luck. See, a couple weeks ago we was buzzed, and that crew that was killing shit was us. Till you turned on me, homie, that's fucked up. I ain't keeping this shit on the hush hush. On my chest, I just carry too much stuff. I done had it enough, it's enough, bro. Plus I needed something to get my buzz up. You don't fuck with the wrong dude. Ain't no telling what Hopsin is gon' do. Creeping up on you. Quit your sleeping, I told you. This a motherfucking journey we finna go through. If I ain't had so much to lose, I swear to God I'd probably beat up and choke you. Damn. Nigga, this is that raw shit, that organic flow you probably see up in Whole Foods. Shiver me timbers, something's fishy about you, Mr. D. Ritter. When I told you that I wanted new management, why the fuck you throw a fit and seem bitter? Why you catch an attitude whenever I question you bad on my fucking percentages? I know why. You been bending it in your benefit. Your Honor, I'm innocent. This nigga crazy. I'm telling all of my people. You tell him. He taking all of my C notes. See, he has a gambling issue. He takes the cash and blows it all like casinos. Damn. When I bring up my royalties, you start avoiding me. That's some disloyalty. You woke up to evil boy in me. Your ass is poisoning. Tell me why you would destroy me. This was a fucking vision that I had created with your brother, but you too infatuated with the money. You killed it and ran it straight into the gutter. Now I think, why'd I make DA and me the boss? You keep pissing a whole lot of people off. Our whole label came out with a weak result. You on that same bullshit Tamika brought.
Nigga, I don't know what you thought. You think I can't see the blood on the walls? That ain't going down, nigga. I don't know what you thought. I can clearly see the blood on the wall. That ain't going down, nigga. Ain't got time for your bullshit. Everybody knows you be on it. Ain't got time for your bullshit. Everybody knows you be on it. Ain't got time for your bullshit. Everybody knows you be on it. Ain't got time for your bullshit.
Hold up, I got some more shit to say. Yeah, it's supposed to be fuck volume, isn't it? Thought it was music above all the business, but you just said fuck all you niggas. You tarnished the brand and you started the funk volume fitness? Come on, I really think got us portraying something we really ain't. How we supposed to be ill when you on our website with a shake weight trying to be Billy Blanks? Nigga, thanks. Foe, ain't nobody trying to lift weights. We just wanna hit up the studio when it's rap and do shows, but you don't understand the culture of hip hop. You a lame ass nigga, dame half the crew knows. New age Jerry Heller, a scary fella. I hate your fucking name, every letter. I'm very fed up. You acting like an ordinary heifer. I'ma take you to the mortuary dress up. We gave you our trust, then you at us corner. You got us a shitty label deal with Warner. And if I confront you about it, you tell me I need counseling and I got a disorder. You send me on tour and it's horror. Shitty hotels, no sleep, with no food to order. Meet and grease every single day is torture. How you expecting an A1 performer? Every time something's wrong, it's the same thing. Blah, 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 you just blame me. Damn. Then you tell Brooklyn and Jamie. Damn. Now they both thinking I'm crazy. Damn. I deal with this on the daily. Damn. My career mentally rapes me. Damn. I won't let this nigga break me. He praying dizzy writers go replace me. Shady. What are your fucking motives, Dame? Let's talk about it. You're our manager, our label owner, our accountant. That's kinda tricky. Something is fishy, that's risky. We just don't even know. We go with the flow while you rowing the boat. You keeping it simple-minded, cause you know when our only concern is just hoping we blow. So when all the money come in from our album and tours, you sit there and soak in the dough. When did we ever ask about the gross? When did we ever ask about the net? You would just hand us money from our shows, cause you knew we wasn't questioning the checks. Nigga, I trusted you with my life. You up your percentage, so I'm making less? Fuck you, bitch, you get no respect. This is why Hopsin's coming for your neck. Bless. All you care about is making money, you don't care about a fucking soul, though. You just fluctuate our dollars up and down at your convenience like a fucking pogo. You been screwing everybody on the label on the low and they don't even know, though. So good luck, Jaren, Dizzy, Hopper, Swizz, I'm going solo.
Nigga, I don't know what you thought. You think I can't see the blood on the walls? That ain't going down, nigga. I don't know what you thought. I can clearly see the blood on the wall. That ain't going down, nigga. Ain't got time for your bullshit. Everybody knows you be on it. Ain't got time for your bullshit. Everybody knows you be on it. Ain't got time for your bullshit. Everybody knows you be on it. Ain't got time for your bullshit. Everybody knows you be on it.
Change is one of the most difficult things that we face, but change is inevitable. One reason we don't like change is we get comfortable where we are. We get used to our friends, our job, the place we live, and even if it's not perfect, we accept it because it's familiar. And what happens is because we're not willing to change, we get stuck in what God used to do instead of moving forward into what God is about to do. And just because God's blessed you where you are doesn't mean you can just sit back and settle there. You have to stay open to what God is doing now. What worked 5 years ago may not work today. If you're going to be successful, you have to be willing to change. Every blessing is not supposed to be permanent. Every provision is not supposed to last forever. We should constantly evaluate our friendships. Who's speaking into your life? Who are you depending on? Make sure they're not dragging you down, limiting you from blossoming. Everybody is not supposed to be in our life forever. If you don't get rid of the wrong friends, you will never meet the right friends.